Hey everybody, Fran here, talking about the Rolling Stones' funkiest 10 funkiest songs. The Rolling Stones, mostly a blues band, especially early on, straight up blues, but as it's getting closer to the 70s, you start hearing the tinges of funk start to seep into their very identifiable sound of music. Probably because, you know, Sly and the Family Stone is getting huge at the late 60s, early 70s. So,
at number 10,
Shadow, love and hope and sex and dreams are still surviving on the street. And look at me, I'm in Shadow. Friends are so alarming, my love is ever charming. That's the funk right there. It's the cadence of the vocals that really drives it in there. This is just, I mean, it's just such a great song. It like encapsulates New York City in the 70s so perfectly. To me, it's like the opposite of New York, New York. It's just a seedy New York scene, and they just really nail this thing down. All right, moving right along.
at number 9,
Little TNA. She's my little rock and roll. Oh, she's my little rock and roll, baby. Heat's reading and the tracks are fading. Such a killer song, one of the best Keith songs. A couple years after it came out, I heard it on the radio one day. I was already familiar with it, and it was Keith's birthday, and it was his 40th. It was in 1983, and I remember thinking, man, 40? This guy's still going at 40? Psh, what did I know? He's almost tacked another 40 on top of that. Hats off to you, Keith. But what a killer jam, Little TNA. I also didn't know what the hell that meant when I was a little kid. What does that mean, Little TNA? Why isn't it Little Rock and Roll?
number 8,
Emotional Rescue. Is there nothing I can say, nothing I can do? Change your mind, so in love with you. This is another song I heard for the first time on the radio, and I was like, whoo, this song's kind of scary. Not sure what to make of this, especially it starts out with that psh, but when it got to that part, I'll be your knight in shining armor, coming to your emotional rescue.
it was like, whoa, something always scared me about it.
And the cover of the album with that like kind of X-ray vision, heat-seeking vision, super cool. Added to the iciness of the scary funkiness.
Number 7, funkiest Stone song in my opinion, of all time.
Peanut monkey, all my friends are junkies. Just for this part, sorry, I'm flubbing all over the place. The Stone songs are hard. You'd think that they wouldn't be, but there's always this little twist and turn in there that make it like really hard to replicate. That's why nobody can sound like them. But just this part. Super duper funky.
Number 6.
Under Cover of the Night. two. Loud enough to blow your brains out. This song is like, you know, if you're gonna last however many years they've lasted, we can't even keep track anymore, 60 something. You're gonna have to, you know, keep up with the times, and this one definitely has some 80s drum sounds and movements. Lots of weird drum things going on in here. Super cool, so I love this song. I have heard people say like, yeah, I'm not really into that one. I am. Under Cover of the Night. It's a killer jam. It's got the frickin' groove to it. Cuddle up, baby. Cuddle up tight. Keep it all out of sight. Under cover of the night.
Number 5.
I've been holding out so long. I've been sleeping all alone. But I miss you. Miss you. Hey man, we're gonna come around at 12 with some Puerto Rican girls that are just dying to meet too. This is the Studio 54 song. Mick's going to Studio 54 and he's like, we need one of these disco songs. But the whole Me Too, that part, the Mick is the master of working the mic. Because if you say Me Too, it's gonna pop the mic. So he always seems, that's why a lot of times his phrasing and the way he enunciates his words sound kind of weird, is because he's just, you know, keeps the mic from Me Too. That's my theory, at least. Super funky, Miss You, big hit. And if you're gonna have a disco song, manage to find a way to not really make it sound like a full-on disco song and be lumped in with all the pariahs of disco that they were seen as at the time. Miss You.
Where are we at? Number 4.
Can't You Hear Me Knocking? I screwed it up, but you get the picture. Can't You Hear Me Knocking? It is so funky. Charlie just like rat-a-tat-tatting away in the background. Charlie really brings the funk out in this song, and they all do. And then you got the like Santana breakdown at the end. This one is just undeniable. This might be, you know, is one of the most iconic Stone songs. It's just like has everything in there. Such a groove. All right, we're getting down to it here.
Number 3.
Bitch. That's a hard one to sing and play. I'm feeling so tired. Take 68. Just kidding. I'm feeling so tired. Can't understand it. Just had a hard night's sleep. I'm feeling drunk. Juice up and sloppy. Yeah, when you call my name. Yeah, you got to Yeah, you got to mix it, child. That's gonna be hard. Yeah, you got to mix it, child. Juice up and sloppy. This is another one where the vocals are just perfectly phrased. Everything's bringing the funk, but the vocals are really like, this one should be called Bitch from Sticky Fingers. The horns in this add another layer of funk to it. Shut up, shut up.
Number 2.
I'm gonna break the rules here because I'm running the show. And I'm gonna go a little bit outside the box and go to Keith Richards' Talk Is Cheap, his first solo album. The first song on there, Big Enough. No time for weeping, babe. No tears need flow. Let no one tell you, honey, how you should grow. This song, you know, it qualifies because it's got Steve Jordan on the drums, who is now in the Stones. And it would have been a Stones song if Keith and Mick hadn't had their falling out around this time after Dirty Work and before Steel Wheels. But this song has got Bernie Worrell, the keyboard player from Parliament Funkadelic, who is just a genius. I love Bernie Worrell. Maceo Parker, who plays the horns with James Brown and with Parliament Funkadelic too. He did some work with George Clinton. And Bootsy Collins on the bass, playing that fat bass with the envelope filter on it. So it's just got funk across the board. Big Enough. If you're not familiar with this song, and I'm sure most of you are, but if you're not, check it out. It's just a killer song, and it kicks off the Talk Is Cheap album.
And the #1 funkiest Stone song of all time.
Starts out with the superest funky Charlie beat. Slave. Yeah, baby. I love that part. It's so creepy. I wait for it every time. I'm just like amazed every time. Hey, get a go. Billy Preston playing the keyboard, the organ, B3 on this, and Sonny Rollins doing that amazing sax solo. He also does a sax solo on Waiting on a Friend. Yeah. Again, it's just all about the drums. The groove is just so perfect and laid back. You know, I always used to read about and hear Miles Davis, and he would say that, you know, the key to a good song is the tempo. And the Stones, they just nail the tempo on every song. This one is just so laid back and funky. Party of funk. Party of funk the whole way through.
Slave.
Killer sax solo in this. And that's gonna do it. Francapitanelli. Those were my top 10 funkiest Stones songs of all times. Did I mention that you should subscribe to this channel if you haven't already? All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
And we'll see you next time.